Buyer's Remorse.
Welcome to Buyer's Remorse. I'm Justin.
And I'm Darren.
And today is Darren's turn to talk about a game. What game did I give you?
It's the gift that keeps on giving, the Oceans bundle game, Last Rites.
Is it an ocean game?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
You just completely, you're plugging this Oceans bundle every time for me. You're just like, yep.
Well, it's just interesting because what I realized is I think last time you did Jesus Saves and now we have Last Rites.
Yeah.
So what is Last Rites? I don't even know what.
Okay, so if you're the tags for this, I would say it's an FPS as one. It's a straight up Doom clone, pretty much. And other tag I'd say is it's for the date and for the price, it's decent. That's my tag, decent.
What is the price, do you know?
Well, the whole bundle was $1, so yeah. But I don't know how, I think maybe,
the ocean bundle was just kind of, was it in the actual ocean group? There were like 5 games in that ocean key. You have pennies for this game, essentially.
Yeah.
So how much would Last Rites be base price?
So base price, it's $7.50, which is a lot of money for a 30-year-old game. Not that should have anything to do with it, but for what it is, I mean, you can buy the new Doom on sale for that price, you know. It's decent, but it's not that good.
What are you shooting?
So yeah, you're shooting all kinds of weird zombies, aliens, like people possessed by demons, I think. I've got no idea what the story's about at all, because I didn't get that far into the game, unfortunately. But yeah, so basically, you start it up, and I remember what I did with all these ocean games, I should know by now, is look up the controls. Because I just go in and I'm like, okay, WASD. Nope, that doesn't work. Like, for a first-person shooter, WASD wasn't a thing for these guys back in the day. They're using still the little arrow keys and the mouse, so you're like all over in this the right-hand side of the keyboard. They've got buttons for actually physically to look up and down, to pan up and down when you can just use your mouse anyway. The keys are a mess. They're an absolute mess. Use is not E. Obviously, maybe there wasn't like, the world hadn't decided on like the international WASD kind of keyboard mapping. But yeah, the keys are a mess. And
is it the type of thing where you have to have like super long fingers to ever use anything?
Like
to swap weapons?
Like a finger growing out of your finger. But yeah, so like that was a problem. And as I was tapping through all the buttons to find out which key did what, I suddenly just the whole screen just went and just minimized into this tiny little rectangle in my screen. I was like, oh, so you can shrink the screen basically. Don't know why anyone would want to do that, but I couldn't find the button to bring it back.
Re-enlarge it. Mm-hmm.
And quitting the game. And so I quit the game, loaded it back up. That'll fix it. Nope.
Still super tiny.
It's still super tiny.
Did you have to play the rest of the time as the tiny screen?
I would have gone nuts if I had to, because it was small. I mean, it was the size of it was smaller than my cell phone screen, man. It was tiny. It was really small. So eventually I had to uninstall it and reinstall it again. And when I did that, I was like, oh, please work, please work, please work. Because I don't want to spend an hour playing on this tiny screen. It worked. So okay, don't press that button. Found the keyboard mapping, okay, let's sort this out. Okay, we're good to go. Last Rites is, like I said, it's a Doom clone. It's got one good thing that hit me, and this is quite true of a lot of games from the Ocean bundle and that time. Soundtracks are really good. Because I guess visually they're not much to look at, so they invested a lot of time in a good soundtrack. The soundtrack has got I guess in the 90s you wouldn't class it as retro wave, but now looking back you're like, oh yeah, that's what it is. That's how it would be classed today.
So if you're interested in the retro wave, you should check this one out.
Yeah. So basically you've got 4 friends. I don't know why you've got 4 friends, but you've got 4 army guys with giant guns, and they run around killing stuff for you. I don't know why they just didn't lower the number of enemies on screen and just have one person go through and shoot everything. Because
that's Doom, and they were trying to do something different.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, maybe you can give them commands to go over here and do something.
Did they actually kill the other?
Oh yeah, they wasted everything, man. I'm just just sit back and let these guys do everything. It's really annoying though, because they're super hyperactive, they've got some serious attention problems because they just will not sit still. And it's like, I wanted to look at them, like, what do these guys look at? Because they look like they're drawn differently, but they just dart around everywhere. They never stay in the same place. You like, okay, I think that guy's wearing sunglasses, but that's all I could see. That one over there maybe has a crew cut. They're just like zipping everywhere, blasting stuff. Even when there's no enemies on screen, they're just like, they're busy. They're busy guys. But they take damage, yeah. Okay. They've got health bars as well, everything.
Can you shoot them?
No.
Okay.
No. I did try. But yeah, you got these guys, they serve some kind of purpose. Some of them died. At points there was like, I only had 2 guys. I don't know if maybe they all die, that's game over. Maybe you have to keep them alive. Maybe there's some kind of...
Can you resurrect them?
No, I don't think so. But anyway, so you go around, you start off in a city, and you got a map, and you're HUD, and you're like, okay, go towards this. You get to the point of the blip on the map, and you're like, I am where I'm supposed to be. But then I couldn't find what I'm supposed to do. I'm like, I'm just trying to, like, I'm going forward, and then the blip's behind me. I turn around, and then the blip's behind me again. I'm like, I'm standing right on it. What am I supposed to do? So then there's a switch on the wall, and I'm clicking that switch, clicking that switch, clicking that switch. Nothing's happening. And at this point, I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. Like, is the game bugged? Could be. So I go onto YouTube, I look at playthrough, and the switch, you have to click. It's not the switch. You have to click on this little tiny part of the switch to make the switch work. You're basically pixel hunting. And I was like, oh my God, I'm really going to hate this because the game is made of pixels. It's already pixelated enough.
Game is made of pixels. That's pretty much every game. Well, yeah. But the pixels in this one are hard to discern one from the other.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, but at least now I know the rule. Like the switches, you don't click on the actual switch part. You click on the bottom right part of that switch and it activates. So you click on that switch. There's voice acting, which was probably quite unusual for the 90s.
If it's from the 90s, there were definitely games that had voice acting in the 90s.
Were there? Oh, yeah, I guess there was. I guess.
I mean, this is not the Atari era.
That's the thing. I grew up when in the 90s. I was probably still playing Spectrum games, to be honest. And so,
okay.
I was a Spectrum user. If I heard anything that wasn't just like a like that was voice acting for me. Like some digitized speech where you could not understand what they were saying.
But even, I mean, the original NES would have had some voice acting. So for me, coming from the consoles, like, yeah, there's been voice acting for a very long time, I guess.
Not for me. Not for me. But yeah, so it's like you click the button and then it's like go to sector, whatever, and do that again. So like, okay, new blip on the map, tons of enemies just swarming everywhere. Get to the next place, click on this switch. So you're kind of like, I don't know, like setting off, like getting ready to detonate something, a bomb or something in the city. You do 3 of those and then you've got to get to the chopper and get out.
Did you get out?
I did that. That was the first level.
Then so that's first level. Yeah. Okay.
So then you're dropped in like what looks like a warehouse, or like on the roof of a warehouse, I guess. And there's all new kind of enemies. There's women with giant fangs that trying to like bite your face off. And you get into the warehouse. Again, you got to find these switches that open doors. But then I got to the end, and I spent a good 20 minutes in this level trying to pass it. And I didn't give up until the 60 minutes was over. But as soon as the 60 minutes hit, I was like, I'm done with this game. Because jumping is hard. And you have to jump onto a box. Because the switches usually are just like on ground level. They're right in front of you.
In level 1 they were. Anyway.
Bonk. And in the first section of the warehouse, there's a switch right there. Bing. It's on a kind of timer. So you got to race back to the start. Go through the door that you've just opened. Really bad warehouse design. He should be fired. And then you get into the next warehouse, and then
you mean you don't want your warehouse to be a labyrinth of walls?
Yeah,
and make it 5 times as long to get around.
Yeah, and like the doors are on a timer, or like 15-second timers when the door is like 14.9 seconds away. So anyway, I get through there, get to the next one, and my warehouse architect has like humorously designed a switch that is up near the roof. So I need to jump on a box and then jump through the air and hit this tiny fucking pixel that is impossible. And maybe it's because the computers today are fast. And so the game is very fast. Like, you're just running everywhere.
There would have been more of a lag in the old.
There might have been more lag, maybe more floaty kind of jump. Still, it's a stupid level design. But yeah, I could not hit that pixel for toffee.
I just love how you are so against the architect of this one, as though 80% of games don't have ridiculously designed stuff. Okay, so you did it. You survived your hour. You didn't get that button, though, I assume.
No, I couldn't. I just couldn't. I tried.
So you were ready to rage quit anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, but I tried
the alarm goes off.
I tried it for 20 minutes.
20 minutes to get that button?
Yeah. I can't get it. And that was it. 60 minutes was up, and as soon as that hit, I was like, it was like the horn going at work, and I punched that card and got home, man. That was it. Done.
So this game, would you recommend it to me?
I mean, because it was only an hour, maybe there's a way to slow stuff down. Maybe that switch isn't what you're supposed to hit. And maybe I'm wrong, but I couldn't find another switch. If I had some patience, maybe go back, watch a walkthrough. If that is what you have to hit, that's going to be a tough sell, to be honest, because if the game is full of stuff like that, I don't want to play it. But if that's one little stupid thing in the game and the rest of it is smooth sailing from there on, I would give it a shot.
Personally, I think probably not, because that control setup sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's controller compatible either.
I'm about 99% sure that these old Ocean games are not controller compatible. There are ways to emulate and make it work with a controller. Maybe if I could set that up. Maybe. Because then some of these things that are irritating you wouldn't irritate me quite so much, because I'd have a controller. But
for $7.50, I would not recommend it to you.
Yeah.
No.
But as part of Super Cheap Bundle,
it's worth a shot. And if you can get past it, like I said, the soundtrack is good. The game itself was fun. I had fun shooting things. There's, of course, you don't get much more 90s than the Uzi 9mm, and that's one of your first guns. It starts you off with basically all the guns. You get them pretty much right away. You've got a pistol with infinite ammo. You've got the Uzis. You've got the shotguns. All your standard fare kind of stuff.
Did you get a grenade launcher? Or,
I didn't get that far.
Like rocket launcher?
Didn't get that far yet, but I assume that's...
There must be one,
yeah,
right?
there has to be one.
So you would recommend it, but only on the cheap?
What I would recommend, if you want to play something that's like this, I would recommend another game that's better and worth the money. Is a game called Bedlam, and that starts off as a pixel Doom shooter, and it's a game about games, and you start off in the early genesis of shooters, and as you progress through the game, you get better graphics, and it goes into PlayStation era, and then it moves up and up and up into Halo and into other shooters. That's a great game. And it's funny, and it's got a good story, and it's interesting. Play that instead. So
get a bit of history without having to be subjected to it.
Yeah, firsthand. Yeah. Let's make fun of old, stupid, glitchy games, not actually play them. Yeah.
So Last Rite, buyer's remorse or confirmation? Clearly, if it had been $7.50, you would have had remorse, but getting it in the super cheap bundle. Because again, this was a bundle of like 12 games for...
That means I've got like 10 more to play. For the hour that I had with it, it's confirmation. It was alright for the price. $7.50 I would be getting a refund for sure. So, yeah, it depends. It depends on how you acquire this game.
Buyer's confirmation.